Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast. This edition of the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by these great sponsors. Axon started out of a passion for keeping agriculture moving. Imagine having 100 years of tire and wheel knowledge in your back pocket the next time you sell a piece of ag equipment. To find more or become an Axon dealer, please visit axontire.com. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. No matter how you buy your ag equipment, whether it's from a dealer, an auction, or a private party, AgDirect can help you finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com. TractorZoom has access to over $20 billion in heavy equipment sales data. TractorZoom's Iron Comps is the industry's trusted solution for transparent equipment values and auctionable pricing insights. This podcast is brought to you by Anvil AppWorks. The Dealer Connect CRMI app with integrated inventory management is an affordable Salesforce-based solution for your dealership. Create connected customer experience and transform how you work.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving iron time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving iron.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast number 284. This edition of the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by Tim the Dairy Farmer.
Oh, wow.
Look at you. Big time now. You've made it all the way to a low-level, very niched podcast. That is...
So does that mean I have to pay?
No, not this time.
Okay.
First one's free.
All right. Like a drug dealer. All right. I got this.
Get you hooked, and then you're mine, right? So I do have Shawn Hackett here with me, too. And the reason Shawn's here because they're both South Florida. And what part of Florida do you live in?
Central
Florida? Okay. So Tim, the dairy farmer, is a legit farmer. That is a real thing, right? So he has a new special out called Tim the Dairy Farmer, and the special is called Milking It. So I watched it.
You did?
And I laughed. My wife even got a Snicker. So
I'll take a Snicker, man.
My wife
I like those candy bars. They're good.
Those good candy bars.
Getting my wife to laugh at something that she doesn't understand is that's a compliment. So
Tell your wife thank you.
I will. And she was she's like, I don't get most of this stuff. It's like, I don't really either, but it's funny if you understand the concept to the most extent. So how you been, man? What have you been up to?
Just traveling. I mean, today I'm here for your
Yep.
dealio in Nashville.
Yep.
And looking forward to that. Got to hear Shawn talk today.
Mm-hmm.
He's always knowledgeable and much smarter than me because I was homeschooled and he has a degree. So I graduated when I was 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my mom's like, well, Tim, that's all I know. So that's why I'm here today on the Moving Iron Podcast. So
You didn't graduate 7th grade for nothing.
no, age 7.
Oh, age 7.
7.
Oh.
That's all she knew.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. That was well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you don't need to make things up. Be like what's his name? The water boy. What's his name?
Adam Sandler?
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Why are those alligators so ornery? You know, I guess they can't reach all the teeth.
There's actually a bit on my special, a true story about me and an alligator.
It is.
True story.
It is. That is a good story because how it ends up is quite.
Well, half the women in South Florida are alligators.
That's
Because of the sun.
Shawn Hackett.
Hey,
Everyone.
can Shawn go up with me tonight and do some jokes? I thought they were cougars, but apparently they're alligators.
Not where I'm at. They're alligators.
So do they start out as cougars and then just as they get tanner and more time in the sun, they become an alligator?
You know, I've not gone over the metamorphosis tendencies, but I'll get back to you on that.
But what you're saying is they're all predators.
Predators, yes.
All lurking somewhere, whether it's in the water or
They're
in
just
the
looking
weeds,
for somebody
right?
that can drive at night. You know what I'm saying? Shawn lives down there in the where people go to die thing. I think that's what Seinfeld
Journey's
called
End.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Journey's
Yes,
End.
yes, just a lovely place to be.
Journey's End, right on. So talk about your special, man. Tell me a little bit about what you got there.
It's called Milking It. basically talk about growing up on a farm, about being a farmer. I think I've got some family reunion stuff in there. It's accumulation of jokes I've done over the years, but I need everybody to watch it and then watch it again and then tell your friends about it, because that's what it's all about, the clicks and the views.
Right.
I'm working on my next album right now. It's called Corn Cobs and Chaos. And that's about portalets and corn mazes, and
Yeah.
it's intelligent stuff, Casey.
I thought you were talking about Nebraska football for a minute.
The Cornhuskers?
Yeah. Because it is.
I did see
It
this
is
about the Cornhuskers.
chaos.
I don't know if you saw that, but they just took a picture of the entire Nebraska football team. And they put it on a Wheaties box because they figured that's the only way they'll make it to a bowl.
That's a good one there.
Because you're not allowed to talk about Nebraska football, are you?
You're not supposed to.
Like the N stands for knowledge or
Right?
something
Yeah,
like that?
that's one of my favorite jokes too. So I'm from Kansas, right? So there's a whole litany of jokes that come about Kansas, but one of my favorite jokes about is, you know why Kansas is so windy?
No.
Because Oklahoma sucks and Nebraska blows.
Nice.
So yeah,
Shawn didn't have a compliment for that one.
just alienated 3 states.
That's
on the
fine.
podcast. That's cool though.
That's
all
fine.
right. I guess you have to say any kind of publicity is good publicity.
Yep.
So
Yep.
good stuff. So what are you doing, man? You out touring the world? You got dates lined up all over the place?
I got a lot of corporate dates like this one.
Yeah.
Corn companies, insurance companies. I'm
Yeah.
doing I know I have, for all you people that are listening, I know I'm at the Missouri as well as the Iowa Farm Bureau Young Farmer Ranchers conventions this winter. I tend to do a lot of the young farmer things, but those are fun groups because it's 18 to 35.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm old enough to be their dad, but I have the mentality of a 12-year-old, so I get along pretty good with most of them.
Yeah.
And,
I know the feeling. I still laugh at things I shouldn't laugh
someday
at.
I'll mature.
Yeah. You have you were doing some stuff with Case for a while. Talk about that.
Last week I was at the Farm Progress Show there in Boone.
Mm-hmm.
But I MC, they have like speakers throughout the day, and then I MC and tell a few jokes before everybody comes up. And so I've been doing that for four years, I think.
Yeah.
What it was. But good people. I was in Iowa. I had to talk a little slower than I did in Illinois. That was just my observation. Because I got family in Iowa.
Yeah.
That explains a lot. Sorry, Casey. Dead air time.
It's all right. That's all right. So when you're putting your special together, you talk about the stuff that you have. When you're going through the joke process, talk about that a little bit. How you come up with the jokes you get.
The joke process. Sometimes you can think of a joke, and the first time it comes out of your mouth, it's gold. Mm-hmm. And that happens once in a blue moon. Most of the jokes you have to, they might take a few months, sometimes a year, because it's one thing, people's like, well, I could do that. I tell jokes with my buddies all the time. Well, it's different between you drinking beer with your buddies in a bar versus walking to a room of 300 or 400 people that you don't even know and trying to get them. So the joke process, it's fun. But the thing about why I do comedy is it's an adrenaline rush, because it's even a bigger adrenaline rush when you write a joke and it hits the first time and you get that thunderous laughs coming back at you, but that's what it is. It sounds selfish, but I'm really not there for the crowd. I'm there for myself sometimes, because I'm trying to get that adrenaline rush, just like guys jumping out of planes or whatever. But it doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes you go on stage and you eat a big fat one, and that's more often than not. You die a million deaths, but you're always trying to get that one fix. So as far as the process, everybody does it different. Some people write stuff out. Some people memorize it. I know, like Sinbad, as much stuff as he's done over the years, he's never written anything down. It's all in his head. And I'm not that intelligent, so I have to make little note cards and stuff like that. But
it's pretty impressive. As much stuff as he's done, never to have.
oh yeah,
right?
be that clean
Yeah.
and then just riff off the hip. But everybody does it different. Some guys sit down and write. Some guys, you hear something like, when I was at this summit last year, some guys were talking to me about somebody ordered cow nuts. And they were telling them, hey, that cows don't have nuts, right? So I actually wrote a joke that I'm going to do here in about an hour specifically about cow nuts. And like, it's either going to hit or I'm going to die up there on stage. And that's just how it goes. Sometimes when you're telling a joke, one word can either make or break you. Mm-hmm. One word will either take that joke over the top, or one word will make the sphincters in the crowd slam shut and you can hear every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's not like being in a band where you got somebody to back you up. You're up there by yourself and you feel all the pain.
Yeah. So do you do a lot of open mics and stuff like that?
I do. There's a club on St. Pete Beach that when I am in town, I'll go there and work on a new 5 minutes or whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
But and then sometimes you just squeeze it in the middle of a long set because if it bottoms out, you can pull it back with your old material.
Right.
So yeah.
So when you're traveling around a lot, do you hit up open mics at various, like when you're traveling around, do you ever go do that
I
kind of
used to
stuff?
do that, and then I haven't done that much. I'll tell you a crazy story happened to me one time. I was in Toronto, and I was doing a show for the Ontario Cattlemen's Association. I thought, while I'm in town, I've never done a Yuck Yucks, which is the national brand in Canada. So I signed up for the open mic, and I thought, well, this is going to be great. I'm going to do some comedy. And I didn't know this, but I think every college kid from Asia comes to Toronto to go to school, and I didn't know that. So it was my turn to come up for the open mic, and just before, like, there was a kid going before me, and an entire tour bus of I don't know what ethnicity they were. I know they were Asian, but they didn't speak English. Mm-hmm. And the whole crowd was nothing but these tourists. And they didn't understand a damn word I said. And I just remember, like, it'd be like you doing jokes by yourself in a hallway. And as I walked off stage, I just bowed my head, put my hands together, and went, "Namaste." And then they cheered. That was the only thing they understood.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So I can have a similar story to that. I went to Hungary once, right? And I was in downtown Bucharest, right? And we were this wasn't Bucharest. This was Romania. So I was in not Bucharest, but they're basically the same. They sound the same. Bucharest and Bucharest, Romania, Budapest, Hungary, right? Okay, so Bucharest, yeah. And there's not a lot of English that's spoke there, right? There's in the major cities there you can find people to speak English, but it's not good English. And we were at a bar, and it was karaoke night, right? And they're singing like Sinatra and all this stuff, and they're singing perfect English. So I don't know how they learned this, but as soon as they got off the stage, they went right back to speaking Romanian, right? And I'm like, how? So finally, I found someone that's like, she got into singing. This chick got into singing. And I could tell that she spoke English. I walked up to her and was like, "Man, that's really good English." She was like, "Thank you. We watched YouTube to learn Sinatra." I'm like, I hear Sinatra's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of other cool karaoke songs you could think about,
right?
Like anything else, So I went up and I was like, "Shit, I'm American. I'll jump in here. I'll sing some karaoke." I started flipping through the thing. There wasn't a single. I couldn't even read the thing because it was all in Romanian. So I'm trying to figure out.
So they're
songs.
reading Romanian but singing English.
Yeah, I'm like, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Craziest thing on the planet.
You know, my wife's aunt is German, and she doesn't speak a lick of English. And when she comes over to visit, we communicate speaking Spanish because we both know Spanish. So that's how we communicate.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but no matter where I'm at in the world, if someone starts talking to me in a foreign language, I immediately resort to Spanish. Even like when I was in Ukraine when I'd be over there, the guy would start talking to me in Ukrainian or Russian, wherever I was at, and I would just like, oh, come on, stop smoking. And they're like, what are you talking about? So I don't know. It's a funny thing that my resort back to whoever I am is like immediately still talk to him in Spanish because.
Well, it's also kind of shocking that a 280-pound white guy from Kansas is speaking Spanish. I don't care what country you're in. You know what I'm saying?
It's very, very like broken Spanish, right? It's the
Spanglish.
It's the same. It's like their version of speaking to me in English is the same me speaking back to them in Spanish.
Right.
So I say just enough to get oh yeah, and they're like, I think we're pretty sure we know what you're talking about, but
As they bring you a goat and you ordered a hamburger.
Yeah, same kind of thing. They're good stuff. Sean.
Yes.
You've been quiet over there.
Yes.
You got any good jokes to tell? You got any good commodity jokes that you
Commodity jokes?
that you can tell?
I love his laugh. I love his laugh. Whenever I hear it on this podcast, it makes me laugh out loud when he laughs.
Surely you've got some like two analysts for looking at a corn chart and this happened. That could be a good joke for you. You come up with something like that.
I mean, corn jokes?
Yeah, I mean just
jokes?
Just an analyst joke. Like two guys walk into a bar, but it'd be like two guys were looking at a corn chart, and then
They both flaked out.
there you go. See, that's perfect right there.
One of them was a colonel. The other one was a serial
See,
killer.
there you go.
Oh, boo.
There you go. That's a good one.
Man, I make my living off corn jokes. What are you talking about? Cornhole, corn flake, corn chip. I don't.
Yep. That would be that could be a whole thing. You could get with Sean. He could just give you some lingo, and then you guys could come up
We should do that.
with a whole line of jokes about commodity guys.
That's like what we just did to Sean there.
Yeah.
I hate as a comedian people like, hey man, tell me a joke. It's like, go screw yourself. All right, I don't even know you. I don't run at my accountant like, hey man, do my taxes. It's like, tell me a joke. No.
What's 5 + 5 go?
Yeah. Have you ever cheated the IRS? I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
Tell me a joke.
They have okay, so you're special.
Special on YouTube.
Is that where it's at? YouTube?
YouTube. Tim the Dairy Farmer milking it.
Is it on your YouTube channel?
It's a YouTube channel, but just type in Tim the Dairy Farmer and you'll see milking it. I don't have a lot of stuff up, so
Right on.
you'll see it milking it. I think there's a case tractor on the front of it.
Okay.
So
Right on. If folks want to book you for a deal, what's the best way to do that?
TimTheDairyFarmer.com.
Okay.
Just go to my website. I got a new book out too, if any of y'all can read.
You got a book out?
I do.
What's it about?
It's called Corn Cobs and Chaos. I've written in a dairy publication for like, I don't know, six or 7 years. It's just a 500-word humorous article, and I finally put a bunch of them into a book. And it's anything from getting food poisoning on a plane to my opinion of tofurkey. I mean, it's good bathroom reading is what it is. But it's for sale on my website, and I got a damn good illustrator to draw some cartoons in there. Johnny Hoskins is his name. But the book's called Corn Cobs and Chaos. It's on my website too. So
If you want to sign him up, have everyone subscribe to my report, and I'll make sure I pass on
There you
the
go.
information to him.
That'd be great.
That's how you do it, sir. It's
Like a
full
train.
circle. It's a full circle.
We're doing a train here on the podcast.
Running a train. That's what I like. That's what I like. All right. Right on.
Hey, this has been fun, Casey. Thanks so much.
No, I enjoyed it. I love having you around, man. This is good stuff. Sean, folks want to reach out to you, get more information about what you got going. What's the best way to do that?
Hackett, Hackett, advisors.com. We have all kinds of things on solar cycles and sea surface temperature cycles and such forth and so on that helps us predict weather and hopefully give good advice on future price forecasting.
And other funny stuff, too.
And other funny stuff, too.
Right.
And other funny stuff. Maybe I should start writing it and putting it on his website.
There you go.
I'm just kidding, Sean. You stick with the smart stuff because you're so much. I listened to you today and I was like, dang. All right.
Yep.
So.
Well, Tim, appreciate you being on the podcast, man.
Thanks, Casey. Let's do it again.
Yeah, we should. Sean, I always like having you on, too, man.
I always like being here and like to grow with your podcast.
There you go. you're doing something.
Love that laugh. Love that laugh.
My wife always tells me, Sean, you're not funny. No one's laughing at your joke. They're laughing at your laugh. I'm like, I don't care why they're laughing. I just know they're laughing.
It's all that matters. It's all about the laugh, Sean.
That's all that matters.
I believe I'm funny, and so it shall be.
That's all that matters. That's what I tell my wife all the time. I'm laughing, so that's a good joke.
She says she laughs every time she sees you.
She does do that. She's more. I can't believe I did that. Every time I walk in the door. So, yeah, good times. All right, good place to stop.
All right.
I'm Casey Seymour. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at MovingIronLLC.com, or go to LinkedIn at Moving Iron Podcast, Moving Iron Podcast YouTube channel. So check all that stuff out. See all the good stuff's going on there. So for Shawn Hackett and Tim, the dairy farmer Moffitt, let's go smart, folks. Out. Axon started out of a passion for keeping agriculture moving. Imagine having 100 years of tire and wheel knowledge in your back pocket the next time you sell a piece of ag equipment. To find more or become an Axon dealer, please visit axontire.com. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. No matter how you buy your ag equipment, whether it's from a dealer, an auction, or a private party, AgDirect can help you finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com. TractorZoom has access to over $20 billion in heavy equipment sales data. TractorZoom's Iron Comps is the industry's trusted solution for transparent equipment values and auctionable pricing insights. This podcast is brought to you by Anvil AppWorks. The Dealer Connect CRMI app with integrated inventory management is an affordable Salesforce-based solution for your dealership. Create connected customer experience and transform how you work.
Moving iron in the 21st century. Hard